Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Queen of TV channel. Now, let's give some quick things first as we get into our intro. Please watch video to the very end. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Second, there will be cursing and profane. If that's not your cup of tea, this channel is not for you. Lastly, I'll be giving my honest opinion about the episode and the show as a whole. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Welcome, everyone. I am your host, the Queen herself, and you are the Prince and Princesses. You are either a subscriber or you are a viewer. Either way, welcome. Today we will be talking about H2O Season 3, Episode 24, Too Close for Comfort, and Episode 25, A Date with Destiny. So let's get into it. Too Close for Comfort, I'm going to break up in two parts. First part is that we see that Kim wants to go on this fancy holiday, and much to my discomfort, she's able to convince her dad to be able to take a second job and to help provide for this expensive trip. Cleo suggests that he could go to the marine park as they're looking for people to hire. When her and Ricky see Dom again in the next scene, when they come to the marine park, he says that he found a new job. He's going to be working part-time. Cleo ends up finding out that this job that he got was as a pirate. Now, he's a very aggressive pirate and he is scared of kids. Cleo tries to give him advice to tell him to tone it down a little bit. Cleo and Lori are excited for the dolphin show because Cleo's been showing Ronnie all these new tricks that she was telling Ricky about, but no one shows up because they're too busy at Dom's pirate show. She ends up accidentally getting knocked off the boat when she tries to sneak on there, and as a result, a kid sees her as a mermaid, but no one believes him. At home, she's very bummed out by what happened, and Dom is trying to lift up everybody's spirits, while Kim is trying to pressure her father into working a lot more harder, so that way he can pay for the trip. We see this affect Dom working two jobs, and he's not getting that much of a sleep. When Cleo tells Kim to leave him alone and not to be waking him up, and they shouldn't be working two jobs for her to have a holiday, Kim accuses her of being jealous. Cleo warns Kim not to wake him up, but when she leaves, Kim ends up waking him up anyway. When she sees her dad again later on at work, he tells her that he has been promoted and they even gave him a pirate crew. Before this, Cleo was bummed out about what happened, but Bella lets her know that everything is going to be okay. And then her show is still suffering from the pirate ship gig while it's getting a lot of attraction. She vented this about Ricky, and Ricky is being as supportive as she can be. When Dom comes to Cleo's empty show after his show is finished, he realizes that he's taken away from Cleo and her job, so he decides to quit, which upsets Kim and bums her out because she won't be able to go on that expensive holiday. Cleo is happy for him, and they end up having a heart-to-heart where she feels bad that her dad quit his job for her. He rests assured that it's okay and that everybody's going to be all right, even though he had said earlier he might have to lay off a bunch of people because he can't afford to, pay them. But nonetheless, they kiss and make up. Now, in our next story is about Bella and Will. Bella and Will are finding hard to see if there's anything that they have in common. They realize the only thing they have in common is the sea. He knows nothing about Bella's music. She knows nothing about his shell collection. They're seen happy together by Zane, and when Bella leaves, Zane tries to convince Will that not making Bella the center of attention is what caused Ricky to dump, Zane himself, and that he tries to give Will some advice that Will at first does not take to heart, but then does so. Will takes it too far and starts acting like a controlling boyfriend in this episode by trying to tell the band what they should be doing, what they're allowed to do, which leads them into telling Bella later on that they do not want Will to come to any more of their training sessions. When she tells him, he is, of course, bummed out. Now, after he had made his words against the band, he also had takeout with Bella where he tried to control whether or not she should be singing a lot. and telling her to tone it down a bit or she will end up straining her voice. Now, with him finding out the band doesn't want him there anymore, Bella tries to get involved in Will's interest, but accidentally ends up breaking one of his shells, which he's upset about. She was already bummed out enough about everything that happened with the band, but she told Cleo that her and Dawn will be fine. Ricky tries to give her some word of encouragement, but Bella says that her and Will will be okay. Now that she's broken his favorite shell, she goes to Cleo's empty show to vent to the girls, and she's wondering what she could possibly do to make it right. Cleo says that she is a mermaid, and she knows how to make it right. She ends up helping Will out when she sees him finding a new shell, and when she finds one that he likes, they end up kissing and they make up. So nice try, Zane, you dick. So, and the episode ends. Now that brings us with a date with Destiny. Hopefully, I can get all this remembered at one time. So we start off the episode in Mako Island where it's heating up and there's steam coming off of it. The girls meet up with Bella at Will's shack where they ask her if she wants to go for a swim. They do so, but when they get to Mako Island, they notice that the place is changing. This worries them, so they go tell Will. In the meantime, while that's all happening, Zane, only having $10,000 left in his bank account, apparently let Sophie know that the cafe is going to go out of business and she might have her hours cut. She's upset and bummed out about this as she put a lot of work into this place. When the girls tell Will about the island changing, they all collectively agree that they will go to the island in the morning to try to figure out what happened. When Sophie arrives, they all three decide to leave, and Sophie tells Will about the cafe going out of business, and she asks if she could get a hold of any immortal crystals that he gave to the girls so she can sell them, but he ends up refusing. We see that Ryan comes back and he comes to Mako Island where he also noticed that there's changes and he even finds the hole that the girls left when they had found the third crystal. He sees that there's even more crystals in it and actually goes to Cleo's house where she meets him, where he asks about the crystals later on after talking to Sophie. Because right after he makes this discovery, Bella and the band are performing and they're ready for their payout, which is a week due. It's over a week at this point. Ryan runs into Sophie where they make conversation and he noticed that the crystals that he found in Mako are the same crystals over Bella's neck. When he brings it up to Sophie, he gets her attention and she lets him know that there are three girls who wear that same necklace and they go into business together. Now this is where he goes to Cleo, but Cleo gives him the complete and utter runaround. He talks to Sam about it, who won't put any money into it and tells him to stay away from Mako. When the girls go to Mako Island, they notice that not only the temperatures rise, but the electric magnetic field has. And Ricky says that it's like something in the place is awakening inside of Mako because she can feel it. So as a result, the girls all collectively are worried. Sophie and Ryan talk where wouldn't tell me anything about the crystals, but it is the exact same. She decides that they could get Zane to invest some money since he got $10,000, and they convince him well enough to where he agrees. The girls decide to go out to Mako Island again later on in the day, where after talking to Will, they try to figure out if it has anything to well, not talking to Will. They try to figure out if it has anything to do with the comet because at the house, Cleo hears from Sam that there's a comet that's coming. Then that's why all the fish and everything is acting out. Cleo realizes it's the comet that's causing all this, and she mentions something else that I just want to talk about. I know a lot of people said that there must be some months apart between episode 1 and 4, because we hear from episode 1 that they have 2 weeks away from summer holiday, and in episode 4 is Valentine's Day. So everybody's like they're like 5 or 6 months apart. Well, we find out in this fucking episode the first water attack, which was in the first episode, actually happened on February the fucking 7th. So that would mean that from episode 1 to episode 4, it was only 7 days. How the hell does all this is what I'm talking about. Australian school has different terms. They have this thing where they have terms for like each damn grade. And in 2010, I believe it was the third or the fourth term. No, it was the third. It was the fourth term where they were in school from July the 27th, no, January 27th to another date. So that is wild. So they go out to Mako and they use their crystals to create a full moon so they can let the tentacle finish the video they want to show them. This is where they see that the comet is actually supposed to be crashing into Earth, which would kill everybody. So they let Will know all about it, and they finally come to the conclusion that the island, the comet, and the moon are made out of the same substance, and that the island is actually drawing the comet in and causing it to crash course to Earth. But they're wondering what the island has planned and why is it awakening. While that's going on, Sophie, Ryan, and Zane go to Mako Island, where they mine inside the rock and find more crystals, where Sophie says she just solved their money problems forever. So, let's talk about it. First of all, not that much to talk about in episode 24. I will say this. I'm glad that Cleo and Dom had that sweet moment. I know that Cleo didn't want her dad working there because it was affecting her show, but the fact that she was willing to let him continue doing something that he loved, and it bothered her for being jealous about it, but I'm glad they end up working it out. Will and Bella being a couple find out what they have to figure out as a couple to actually get to know each other, that they don't have to like the same things, but they can show their interest. So this was just more about like dynamics between family and a romance. But I will say this, Zane tried that. Like Zane tried to call a problem between Will and Bella out of his jealousy of what was going on. Now, I failed to mention this in my recap, but Zane does tell Ricky that the cafe is going out of business in the 25th episode, and that he made too many mistakes to the point where his dad will not help anymore. But since episode 24 didn't have that much to talk about, because it's very straightforward to me, like I love everything about episode 24. I have no complaints. I'm glad that they actually focused on those two dynamics right there. And since we're on a timestamp, I really can't gush that much about it. So for episode 25, I will say this. Zane, you son of a bitch. You just had to do it. You helped them destroy Mako Island. Thanks a lot, ass. Thanks a lot. You know, Emma was right. Emma was right in episode 1 that Ricky should have never dated Zane. I freaking hate this. I cannot believe he done this shit. I cannot believe it. I don't even know why the fuck I am surprised. I don't understand. And before somebody say, well, they should have told him, he would have understood. That is some bullshit. He still should not have been out there. But you know what? I digress. There's nothing I could do about it. What's done is done. But Zane's a piece of shit. And it pisses me off. It really pisses me off. My God. And I knew Ryan was a piece of shit too. This man will do nothing but for Discovery. I know that they try to also rush his redemption too at the very end when they try to make him feel bad for what they were doing, but it's too damn late for that. This grown ass man will not quit. I feel like Cleo should have got her a good grade A restraining order. But I know for a fact Ricky's gonna not forgive Zane for this. It's gonna be a long time for Ricky to forgive Zane for this. Zane did this. What is he thinking? He knows what that place means to them. But at this point, who knows what goes on in Zane's mind? But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, cause Lord knows that episode 24 and 25 should have pissed me off. Well, the only thing that's gonna piss me off by episode 25 is that whole thing with Ryan, Sophie, and Zane. But you know what? We always gotta have a finale where the villains gotta have some kind of wins and make some kind of progress. At least it's not as fucking emotionally driven as it was for me in season 2 with Charlotte. But you know what? Karma is real. Karma's real. I'm glad Ricky didn't take Zane back. Thank the gods. Thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you, and whoever you believe in. Because Zane's pitiful. But that's all I got for you guys today. Like I said, we're on real short time, so this is obviously gonna be a short video. So without further ado, hope you guys have a blessed day. Hope you have a wonderful day. And if no one's told you today, I'm telling you, I'll see you guys in the next video. So until then, bye guys.